Somebody requested me to take a look at this video I'm going to be reviewing. And of course, I'm happy to oblige. My duty is to serve you, serve the public. And of course, if you have an inquiry, if you are a civilized individual, a respectable individual, I'm more than happy to oblige. So here we are this evening. So yeah, I got some time tonight. Interesting is this video clip I'm going to share. The name of the title of the clip is basically Biracialism Black. So I'm piggybacking off of it. I'm going to update the title. I already had kind of a title for my initial stream that kind of got messed up. What was it? Basically, yeah, I think I ended that one. Something about mutability. I learned a word from this lady here. We're going to be talking about mutability, which is liable to change. So I added that. I included that in the title, initial title, which I'll update it after we're done here. About the one drop rule and mutability. Biracial is not black. And very interesting. So yeah, somebody basically requested me to take a look at this. And I took a look at it earlier this week. This video, let me just actually share the screen now and give you guys a... Okay. The title of the stream here is Biracialism Black, the Rising Tension of the One Drop Rule. She has the eye emoji. This lady, I think she's from Gambia. Okay. It's funny. You're going to hear her say y'all, which is the kind of Southern United States of America Southern contraction that's utilized by people in the South, right? Southern contraction, y'all, right? And you hear this lady use that, but she's from Gambia. Look at her name. Kaja Mbo, I don't know, whatever. But you're going to hear her say that a lot. Y'all, right? And we're going to be reviewing her analysis and observation. The rising tension of the one drop rule. What's the tension? Where's the tension coming from? Not coming from my side. But we're going to get into it. And so basically this video, let me actually background. Okay, yeah, so she has like a lot of subscribers, right? 626K subscribers, almost a million. 4 days ago, this video has over 250,000 views. A lot of discussion. A lot of people talking about it. And I think even, like I said, somebody requested me, mulatto woman requested me to, talk about this, give my opinion on it. I was hesitant at first because I was like, I don't really care about this. This is kind of a minor issue. But, like I said, I'm here to serve. The lady's very respectable, very feminine as well, I might add. So definitely that's going to encourage men to take a closer look at things. So I don't mind, this evening to cover this, give my opinion on it, but just be warned, the public, the opinions that I have is not always the most pleasant. Okay. A lot of people find my commentary to be divisive or downright mean. So if you're one of these kind of weaker folks, I would definitely encourage you to tune out and go somewhere else. But yeah, definitely, most definitely. And this gentleman, the biracial awareness. I saw this cat clipped a portion of this clip of this video and uploaded it to his social media for sure. So like I said, a lot of views. This is 4 days ago. This woman has like over 600,000 subscribers. 4 days ago, she dropped this video over, was it 20? Yeah, 250,000 views. So talking about biracial people is a hot topic. It's funny. It's interesting because I hear a lot of biracial people talking about, oh, there ain't no money in the biracial, talking about biracial stuff. There ain't no money and the algorithm punishes us and nobody wants to hear about biracial stuff. I hear this from the men and the women. Okay. I heard this from a lot. I've been hearing this for a few months now. People crying and whining, living up to the name Cry Racial. Talking about biracial, talking about race. You're not going to make no money if you talk about race. But you have all these fucking blacks all over social media talking about race 24/7, and they seem to be able to develop a business out of it. Even the whites, a lot of the whites, they have to go to alternative platforms. They talk about race 24/7. They can have sponsors, donors, supporters, people paying them to talk. It's funny, but a lot of these biracials, they don't like being biracial. It's very sad to see. I've never had that problem. I can proudly come up here today and tell you, tell the public, tell the world, I've never had that issue. I've always thought it was a privilege, a benefit to be biracial. My goal is to find other people similar like me. I'm doing a pretty good job. I'm going to get right into this clip, um, starting things out. Like I said, the title of it is Biracialism Black, which I agree. But of course, what's typical with a lot of these people, they're going to try to basically pull you back into their influence. They're going to tell you you're not black. See, what it is they want to be able to tell you you're not black, but they don't want you to tell them you're not black. That's the kind of schism, if I can say that, if that's a appropriate term. What we see here is what we find is that we have this kind of monoracial aggression, particularly from this one side, where they want to reserve the right to outgroup you. They want to tell you you're not a part of their group, but they don't want you to tell them, no, I'm not a part of your group. I'm something different. All of a sudden, it's racist and it's divisive. The crybabies always tell you, right? You're going to see that in this clip, how they want to lay the distinction. Oh, yeah, you're different than me. But at the same time, they want to kind of develop this umbrella to kind of pull you back in and say you're underneath them. Nah, fuck that. 2023 going in 2024. People like me, we're here now. And we're not bending a knee. So let's get right into this. Unfair use.
Don't at me. I know Beyonce is out here promoting all manner of things and literal menacide is happening. I know. I call her my anti-capitalist billionaire queen for a reason.
Anti-capitalist. Now, just laying the groundwork, we look at this woman. I don't know this woman. Never heard of her until this, feminine mulatto woman shared this stream with me, told me, hey, can you take a look at this video clip? And I'm looking at this woman. I'm looking right now. Okay. She's got the kind of the Goldilocks, the blonde locks, dark skinned woman. Like I said, she's from Gambia. She's not ADOS FBA, but all of that's irrelevant because the pro wax, it's all about the color of your skin to them. It's not about the content of your character. It's about the color of their skin. So the pro wax don't care about the FBA, ADOS. They all that's all for fun and games. It's all about, if you're a monoracial, you're dark skinned pro whack, then you're on their team. But yeah, she's from Gambia. She's not a descendant of American slavery. You look at her hair, she's got the blonde Goldilocks. She's got the glasses on. She's indoors. The sun's not out. She's indoors and she's got sunglasses on. Dead giveaway. Okay. And then I was gonna say something about this on the wall. This is like from what, Nickelodeon? I think it's from the TV show, or not show, excuse me, animation cartoon. I forgot the name of it. Okay, guys, it's Nickelodeon. I'll think of it later on. But there were like roller skaters and stuff and skateboarders or whatever. When I was a kid, I'm a millennial. I remember they had that show on. It's not a black woman, okay, on the cartoon animation she has there. It's like a Hispanic or Latina, if I'm not mistaken. But she's got blonde hair. She's got sunglasses on. The sun's not out. It's a cold winter evening or afternoon, whatever. She's got the fucking bull ring in her nose. We're just, not making it any ad hominem attacks, okay? I'm just saying that these things represent something. When I look at this, instantly I know, okay, I kind of know what I'm dealing with here. Okay. You got the bull ring, right? And you got the, nostril piercings and stuff like that. We in the blonde hair, we kind of know the orientation of this lady. It's not kind of, it's the probability is like 90+%. We know what we're dealing with here. Okay. Okay. So that's important to lay that out first before we get into the commentary and getting right into this, because they're talking about biracials. Like I said, you have these biracials who are basically, a lot of them act like they're defeated. Like, oh my God, I can't grift off the public with biracial content. I can't talk about race. Well, why don't you talk about being an idiot then? You know, why don't you talk about being a dumbass then? If you can't talk about biracial content, because there's a lot of grifters, okay, on YouTube. They're like, they can't make a buck, they can't make a money, they can't set aside an hour of their time to talk to the public, talk to their fellow brethren, fellow mulattoes out there. They can't do that. No, 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 no. They're too busy, is what they say. But they're not too busy to play video games and act stupid. They're not too busy to get drunk. Okay. So that's what you hear with a lot of these biracials. I'm going to call a spade when I hear this from these biracials talking about, oh man, when you talk about biracial stuff, man, there ain't no money in that. You talk about race, there ain't no money in that. I can't make no money. But here you got black people that are talking about you, dumb motherfuckers. Okay, you cry racials, whining and crying. You got blacks talking about you. And 4 days ago, how many views does she have? 223,000 views 4 days ago, over 3,000 comments. So they could talk about you and get the clicks and views and the ad dollars and all this shit. But you biracials can't even defend your position out here. You know, I'm just calling a spade because I've been hearing some of these people crying and whining about not wanting to talk about biracial stuff. There ain't no money in it, man. I gotta jump on YouTube to get money, man. I don't want to talk about race, man, because there ain't no money. Get a normal job like the rest of us. Okay. I'm doing you a favor. Actually, it's just like I said, this lady who requested me to talk about this. And of course, I'm happy to oblige. But that applies to all of you people out there. If you are a respectable individual, just like, I mean, DC sent me a lot of stuff, and other people, I do videos about different comments that I get. You guys can, you have access to my email, social media. You can send me a message, put a comment, and I'll talk about it. So enough of that. Let's get right into it. Unfair use.
If you get the joke, you get it. Anyway, Beyonce releases the film. Naturally, she has a film premiere. All the stars show up, but Beyonce shows up like this. Silver.
And I don't care about Beyonce. I'm not a fan of Beyonce. Let me move to the juicy part. Beyonce, I think her mother is biracial. Her mother is mulatto. But she's definitely black identified, married a black man. Basically got it absorbed back into the black monolith. Okay, that's her choice, her position. That's fine. But as an artist, whatever, I'm not a fan of her music. So I don't care about the commentary about Beyonce. Go somewhere else for that whole shit. Okay, over here it's biracial content. So
the silver outfit on light skin, winter time. Although I think she lives in California, so I don't know.
it's interesting. Silver outfit on light skin. What if they talked about you having red nail polish on your dark skin? You know, wonder what you think about that.
Recordings.
It's funny because people, like I said, when you're dealing with that community, they sit there and talk about your dark skin, or excuse me, your light skin. Like it's almost like they have free range to talk about your light skin. I've heard a lot of these people, like Kevin Samuels and the rest of them, all the pro wacks. They're very bold making comments about light skins, but a lot of these light skins are punks to these dark skins, right? And that's the sad part. But like a lot of them, you've empowered them. Okay, a lot of you cowards, you've empowered them to where they can publicly talk crap about you. And when they're talking crap about light skin, see, the men are talking crap about the light skin men because it's a form of what they call cock blocking, right? And mate guarding because they want the light skinned women. And then, of course, the dark skinned women, they're talking crap about the light skinned women, not because they want the light skinned men. They're talking crap about the dark skinned women because they know that those women are the preference for the dark skinned men. They want the dark skinned men because they want to become bastard baby makers. They want to continue the cycle to where they run the community because no other race is a matriarchy or what they call a gynocracy, where the women run the show. 75% out of wedlock birth rate, 75+% illegitimacy rate. Most of these educators in their communities are female. Most of the politicians in their community are female. Okay. So They want to maintain the status quo. They need a particular caliber of man, extract his semen, sperm donor, human wallet. Okay, create more bastard kids so they can be in control, disregard the man. They want to maintain that social order. They need a particular man in order to do that. Okay, the light skinned man, the biracial man, the man with standards is not going to accept that and tolerate that. So they're, of course, going to overlook you and disregard you, which is fine. I mean, shit. Where I come from, the type of ladies, the women, the mestiza, mulatta, I mean, it's just the competition is so high, it's laughable. It's just too much competition out here. I love being a man. I'm a competitive dude. I just would never change anything about it. And I love the fact that I'm biracial, black, white, as if you haven't noticed already with my content. So I promote us, our image. I wouldn't change a damn thing about me. But what you definitely get is you get a lot of people out here who are not happy with themselves, so they want to be something else, right? They want to call themselves Indians. Now, I did a video with some cat. It's like, oh, I'm an Indian now. He's a pro whack yesterday, but now he's an Indian. Yeah, right, whatever. Let's get into this. Oh shit, I muted. I apologize.
with X race and black. I'm also observing a lot of gatekeeping of blackness as a result of this reevaluating of the one drop rule. So we're going to talk about all that. But first,
Now the thing is I definitely promote black people gatekeeping their blackness, right? Which is their right to do it. And of course, like for me, I'm gatekeeping the mulatto-ness. I'm not gonna just let any weird random interloper who's gonna come over here. Like I'm telling you, you got people who are blacker than the fucking Black Panther who are gonna come over here and tell you that they're just as mixed as you. Oh, I don't look mixed. I'm blacker than Wesley Snipes. I don't look mixed, but I'm really mixed. I don't give a shit what your ass is. You're not a mulatto as far as I'm concerned. Okay. And a lot of people aren't gonna like that. Good. Don't watch my shit. Unsubscribe, go cry somewhere else. Okay. And everybody has the right to protect the integrity of themselves and their group. I honor that. Like I learned that firsthand when I went to Ghana. I was like, oh, these people are gatekeeping what an African is. You got to be born to the land and have two African parents. Like they gatekeep it. They gatekeep it to the degree to where a lot of these black Americans, they're looking at them like, you're not one of us. I saw that firsthand when I went to West Africa. They were looking at people way blacker than me, two black parents, monoracial people, and they were looking at them like, you're not one of us. You're from America. You're from somewhere else. So, and I respected that. Like they have this level of pride and integrity, and that's something I think a lot of us are missing because we are bastardized. And a lot of us, we do that. We do that to ourselves as well. We allow ourselves to be absorbed and to be used and utilized for other people's agendas, primarily overwhelming, disproportionately for the liberal leftist agenda, which is, of course, LGBT, pro illegal, pro black, pro feminist, anti man. So if you're a man, if you're a simp enforcer doing this shit, you're right. I'm gonna look at you sideways. Like there's something going on there. But let me continue on fair use.
Biracial isn't black to some of y'all. Why are we? Before, if you had one drop of black in you, you were just black. And this is the one drop.
Now, yeah, and remember, this is an outsider. This is not a person that's an American. She's like, before, if you had one drop, you were just black. Really?
In American culture, but it's not necessarily the same. But
Let's see this.
and Canadian and Gambian. But I say
Oh, see, she's Canadian and Gambian. Okay. So for all you FBAs, ADOS pro wax, because I had a couple of these black identity extremists over on Twitter listening to me, stalking me shit since like last year. It's like, I don't know you characters, you cowards on Twitter. I don't give a fuck about you. But now I'm watching you. Now I'm watching you, hoes. Talking about me. Fuck you. I'm not playing games with you savages. But this lady here, she's telling you she's not one of you. She's not an ADOS, FBA. Okay. She's not a former slave. Her folks, her people are from Gambia and Canada, right? right? But she wants to talk about biracial issues. Interesting. Let's hear this.
Racial isn't black business. Biracial, biracial isn't black to some of y'all. Why are we fighting? Why are we fighting?
And this is like cringe level over 9,000, right? Super cringe. With the heart here and the little Nickelodeon. Guys, someone requested me to talk about this. I'm going to talk about this because honestly, initially I didn't want to talk about this. But I saw it and I'm looking at her, the glasses inside, the bull ring, the piercing, the blonde Goldilocks. I'm like, okay, LGBT. Okay, they want the biracials to stay in their group to basically turn them out. You know, they want to use you. And this is very common with these people. Okay, these types, these liberal left leaning LGBT types, they want to include the biracials underneath the black umbrella so they can use you and absorb you. In my job, I'm trying to tell the biracials, the mulattoes, look, don't you want your own thing out here? Don't you respect yourself? Don't you want your own autonomy? There's a lot of people out here just like you. Don't you see yourself as your own being? You're something different, independent from the black monolith and the white monolith. You're something uniquely different. You've been here before the country was even, the United States of America was even established. You've been here before a lot of other nations were even established as well, Brazil, etc., in the Americas. It's like, don't you recognize your autonomy and sovereignty? Or do you want to continue on to play games with these other people, let them use you, absorb you? Okay, they want your genes. Okay, they want your status, privilege, etc. If you want to continue to play that game, that's on you, but I'm not doing that over here. Okay, that's the reason why I am up here uploading this content to let other people know they have another option. Okay, let me continue on. Unfair use.
Jesus. We are currently, as I would say specifically Black Americans, and yes,
And she's not a Black American. She's an immigrant, right? She already said her parents are from. So that's the thing, the definition of Black American or African American. You have all the tethers and interlopers who are jumping into your mix. They're not drawing a clear line of distinction like I'm doing. I'm like, look, I'm a mulatto American, biracial guy, white mom is from America, Black father is from America. And like I said, with these fucking pro whacks, they're gonna let her into their group because she's a LGBT, dark skin, and she supports the intersectional hierarchy. She upholds that philosophy. So all that FBA, ADOS shit gets thrown out the window. They're gonna ride and be down with her because she promotes LGBT and she's dark skinned. I'm telling you right now. I think I got that soundbite. I'm telling you right now.
I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real.
I've already seen this. I've already been in these circles. Okay. I've met a lot of these pro whacks. Okay. I've been around the block in Los Angeles, traveled the country, been to Africa. So yeah, I have an authority to speak on these issues. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. 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 They'll disregard you, right? Because you're a straight man, you're a biracial man. They're going to tell you your opinion is invalidated. You're a racist, you're a sexist, you're a capitalist, you're a colorist. Yeah, they're going to tell you that. But this person, or all the LGBT, pro wax, all the liberals, all the communists, oh, they're good. They're good in gravy. And you're not even, you're not, your people are not even from this country. You don't have that history here. I have the history here. Okay. On my father's side, ADOS, FBA, you want to use that term, my father's side, I have the history here. Okay, where my grandmother and her family were literally ran out of Oklahoma during the race riots, moved to Los Angeles. That's part of my history. But they will invalidate you, okay, because of your dual heritage. But they'll let this dark skinned African from Gambia, wherever the fuck she's from, as long as she's LGBT and dark skin, pushing the liberal shit, she's on their team. Okay. A lot of you people, a lot of you biracials, you're going to wake up eventually. And that's precisely what this channel is about. Helping you people basically see the light. Let me continue on, fair use.
grew up in America. I am American and Canadian and Gambian.
But you see that? You see that? I'm American. I grew up here. I'm American and I'm Canadian and I'm Ghanaian. But like I said in the title, she used this term mutability, which is liable to change. You see that? So of course that mutability, she's talking about the dual heritage duality of the mulatto, the European African. She's saying we're the issue, right? This racial, she puts the word racial mutability. It's going to come up pretty soon. I'm going to show it. Racial. So when it comes to this genetic and heritage component, she has an issue with that. But as far as nationalistic lines, she's like, oh, I get to be all three. I get to be American. I get to be Canadian. And I get to be Gambian. And you know what else she gets to be? She gets to be LGBT. She gets to be a woman. She gets to be a dark skin. She gets to be a feminist. She get, she gets to be everything. That's her privilege. That's her dark skin, LGBT liberal privilege. But you, the mulatto, the straight mulatta woman, the straight mulatto man, you don't get that privilege. Okay. She's going to use this term, mutability, to say, look, I don't really trust you, the one drop rule, because you can change into be white and black. And we're going to hear this shit because I'm telling you how these people operate. They want the advantages and privileges. Okay. They don't want you to have it either. It's amazing when I hear these double standards being developed here, or displayed, I should say. She gets to be American, Canadian, and Gambian. But you, the mulatto, you don't get to be black and white. That's what they want you to believe. You guys got to start pushing back. I'm one dude, and I'm having fun out here laughing because it's hilarious. I don't understand why you people like getting fucking punked in this society. I don't get it. Let me continue on. Fair use.
I say this is also a Black Canadian experience too. There's a lot of mirroring with Black Canadian culture and American culture, but it's not necessarily the same. But in Canada
and she's literally telling you it's not the same. There's mirroring. What I noticed listening to this woman, the key word that she uses to get all these goofy ass Black Americans on her side is y'all. It's so funny. As long as you say y'all, all of a sudden you're a Black American. It's all you got to do, man. Seeing all these comments, there are probably a lot of just LGBT Black women and just random people, but that's all you got to do, man. If you want the Black American audience or to get on that tip, all you got to do is say y'all. That's all you got to do is say y'all. I'm making an effort to not say y'all. So, I don't sound like you. It's funny, like one of these Black extremists on Twitter who doesn't like me. Well, he can do something about it. But this guy had some other commenter who's like, he sounds like he's white. The guy's like, no, he's biracial. I'm like, you're damn right. I sound like I'm white. I don't want you people to mistake me for one of you. I don't want you to think that I sound like one of you talking like y'all and all this stuff. And some people are going to take this, they're going to clip it and be like, that's self-hate. He's self-hate. No, I mean, you see me, you hear me. This is what you get. You get a mulatto cat. Like, they think it's like a dig or an insult. You sound white. Okay, you sound black. Have fun. But I'm telling you, this whole sounding black component, this lady's basically utilizing that, to a T with the whole y'all contraction. That's the first thing I caught listening to this chick. I was like, what the fuck? You're not fooling me. You said you're American, Canadian, Gambian. You got blonde wigs, Goldilocks wigs. You're talking about proximity to lightness and all the same liberal bullshit we've been hearing for the past decade. Me and this lady are probably around the same age. I'm a millennial guy. I've been hearing this shit. The thing is now, my platform's not large like hers, but guess what? I got the microphone too now. I got an internet connection and the YouTube account. Okay, I can get up here and blab my mouth too now. Am I going to get the views? No, because you know what? Most of these social media platforms, they are literally energized and promoted if you are a pro-whack LGBT. And I'm going to do a stream tomorrow. I'm going to talk about this, particularly on Twitter. They're going to promote you. Okay, all the LGBT, all the Black extremists, anti-white, anti-Americans, they promote you on these platforms. Okay. So yeah, I'm not surprised when I see the numbers here. I'm not doing this shit to get popular. I want to make sure that other mulattoes out there know they have another option. They don't have to get punked out here and be subordinates and tippy toe and dance around the issue. They have other people out here just like them. It's on them to connect with them. I've done it. I've done a pretty good job. Like, I have connects now. Just even the past year that I've been doing this type of content, the type of people that I've met and have networked with, I have a lot of contacts. I'm very happy about that. It's only going to grow. Let me continue on. Unfair use.
In America. Black folks seem to be reevaluating, at least in the digital sphere, what it means to be Black. Before, if you had one drop of Black in you, you were just Black. And this
Well, that's not entirely true. That was a archaic public edict that was, of course, enforced not only at the public, the state, or excuse me, the local, state, county, and federal level, the one drop rule. It was enforced. It doesn't mean it was authentically acknowledged across the board. Now, they've made great measures doing this whole one drop rule. We already talked about with Walter Pleckard in the Anglo-Saxon Club, the 1924 Racial Integrity Act. Walter Pleckard was a spearhead of that movement of basically declassifying mulattoes basically to segregate us, to take away our racial classification. We have been a designated racial class and group in America since the inception of this nation, even beforehand. But when this nation was established, they've already had our classification in place in the census. And so they've made great efforts to basically destabilize us and neutralize the mulatto group. And it hasn't worked. I mean, like I said, with this removing our designation from the census, right? Our classification on the census documents, where they basically included in 2020, or excuse me, 2000, 2000, the two or more races in here in the United States of America, and they've included it. They've done great measures in the past to basically neutralize us, but it hasn't been that effective. Here we are today talking, clapping back, challenging these archaic paradigms. The one drop rule, not everybody, isn't in acknowledgement with that. More than not, people today are like, this is a flawed fucking rule. This doesn't make any sense. Who upholds it today the most? That's why I always ask, because a lot of people, my detractors, will say, you got to look at the one drop rule. Who invented it? I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Who invented it? Yeah, we kind of have the data and research. Walter Pleckard, 1924 Racial Integrity Act, State of Virginia. We know who implemented these rules, and they'd use public policy to enforce this, to kind of neutralize mulattoes. We know who did this, okay? But who's upholding it today? I don't see the average. And on my mulatto history channel, I always show data and, receipts of white people, Caucasian people laying the distinction between a black and a mulatto, right? There's usually always one group. Right now, we all know who it is, who upholds the one drop rule more than any other race, because it's to their benefit. They can't, they don't produce anything. They don't control nothing in society. So they can't influence other racial groups to be on their team or to form an alliance or an allegiance. They have no economic power to form an allegiance with other racial groups. So they need you as this designated subordinate to stay within them to help. We see the game. More on that later. Fair use.
This is the one drop rule, also known as the one Black ancestor rule, also known as the traceable amount rule, also known as the hypodescent rule. It's basically a racial classification. And this is unique to Black Americans, and I would argue Canadians as well. Nowhere else in the world, as far as I'm aware of.
So she's talking about Black Americans. She's got to include Canadians because that's that mutability. But see, mutability, liable to change, it's only a problem with this racial question, right? When you're Black, white, or European, African, it's only an issue then. Oh, I don't trust you. You got white privilege, right? But when it comes to this patriotism question or this nationalistic allegiance, all of a sudden it's thrown out the window. Oh, I'm Canadian and American and I'm Gambian. It's like we're supposed to sit there and smile like that's okay. So like I said, the double standard, she gets to be immutable, but you biracials, you don't get to. All of a sudden she's going to shame you for it. Like I said, it's more than mutability. I mean, you look at the rings on her finger, you know, you look at this, she's got all these rings right here and the glasses indoors, the bull ring and all this. Look, okay. Like she likes women. That's fine. I mean, I like women too, but we got to question, we know what it is, what we're doing here. Let me continue on fair use.
Has this sort of thinking when it comes to who is considered Black. And I did talk about this a bit in my colorism video with South America and how.
Of course, she did a colorism video. Of course she did. Have I ever did a colorism video? No. Are there a lot of dark-skinned men who are colorist and don't like light-skinned men? Yes. And guess what? I don't associate with them. Do I need to do an upload a video talking about that? No. There's other people who can if they wish to. That's fine. But this is not a colorism channel. Like I said, the color thing only comes into question around these people, these dark-skinned people, particularly those of the African hue, not East Indian, because there's East Indian people who have her complexion as well. They're not African. Yeah, I know the blacks want to claim them. We all from Africa. We all the kangs and the melanated kangs and queens and all this stuff. Yeah. I don't do colorism stuff over here. I'm strictly focused on the balance between European and African. Okay, my existence is not open to debate. Okay, I'm not going to debate you people. I will challenge a lot of you and I will fight. Okay, but I'm not going to sit here and debate and entertain people who want me to dance around. I'm not doing that here. You got the wrong guy. And I'll be the bad guy. I'll take that as a badge of honor. Okay, I'm not playing games with a lot of these people. I'm telling you, because a lot of biracials, these mulattoes, whatever, they want to dance around, walk on eggshells, and make everybody happy, and they disregard their entire being and existence. Basically, like I say, is basically they adhere to monoracial sensibilities at the expense of the mulatto plight. What is the mulatto plight, you might ask? Independence, sovereignty, personal autonomy, your own being your own group, preserving your own identity, something that's literally been stolen from you, as I've said on this stream a few minutes ago, with literal local, county, state, federal legislation has been promoted to take away your racial classification, your sense of belonging. They want you to serve underneath these other groups: pro-black, pro-LGBT, anti-white women. A lot of you people are going to learn, and of course, when you tune into this channel, you're going to learn from me. Let me continue on fair use.
Oh, there are different distinctions of what would be classified as Black versus how we would do it in America and Canada. Pardon the interruption, but while I was working on this video, I came across another video of Tyla singing on Colors. And for those of you that don't know, Tyla is a South African singer who made her American debut on Jimmy Fallon.
And like I said, the thing is, I didn't even know who Tyla was until the last week. Okay. It's like pop culture, which I think I'm kind of acquainted with to a degree. But I had no idea who this lady was. And like I said, the whole kind of she's gonna talk about it here, right? Just giving you guys my little spew. People don't like this Tyla. Okay, the Black Americans, they like the Canadian and Gambian dark skinned queen because she's LGBT. They like her, right? Remember BLM, Black Lesbians Matters. Remember, they're pro-whack Black lesbians, but they have white partners. Like, that's okay. But you mix people who don't identify as Black. See, that's an issue to them. I mean, in a sense, they're okay if you don't identify as Black as long as you identify with LGBT. You want to know why? Because with LGBT, they see their sexuality as their race, as their group. So they're okay with that because they themselves, a lot of them, they want to get rid of the whole concept of race, preserving their race. They want to get rid of that. They think that's a bad thing. We should all just be one race. It's the human race. Of course, the people at the fucking bottom are going to promote that the most. Instead of working on themselves, building families, building civilization, contributing to society, being a good person. No, that's too much. It's too much to do that. Because the man's holding you down. The evil white man, he don't like me. People holding me down and all this stuff, right? It's too much to be a good person and contribute to society. So you got to even the playing field. So you got to just bring everybody down to your level. Let's just get rid of race, right? You guys know what the deal is, right? Fair use.
The song I think she's most known for now is Water, with folks doing the TikTok challenge.
TikTok challenge, which is just shaking their booty, dancing provocatively, which is, that's fine, whatever. You know, this is like I said, I didn't even hear about this stuff until like a week ago. I don't know. Okay.
Her performance, the water bottle. If you know, you know. Anyway, the colors performance looked great. She always looks great, nice and dewy, and a fabulous voice. Great performer. Naturally, my nosy ass goes to the comments, and people are really upset about her calling herself colored. Remember,
I want to pull that comment up again. Why is Tyler identified as colored and not black? Aaron Williams, hip hop editor. He looks kind of like a dork, his glasses on, right? He's a hip hop editor, of course. I mean, hip hop is just laughable. You guys talk about, deleting your own people, but yet you promote Justin Timberlake, you promote Post Malone, Jake Hero. Yeah, and even that other guy, DJ Khaled. You guys see that guy? They promote all these people, but then when a biracial or the mixed person doesn't identify as black, look at the type of hate they give to Drake and all the other mulattoes. Like, I'm going to talk about a woman. I'm not going to talk about her. I'm going to share some stuff about her upcoming on Monday. Another mulatta. What's her name? Tanashi. I got a quote I found from her. I'm going to share some stuff with you guys on Monday about her. Another mulatto woman who's in that kind of genre of hip hop, right? And yeah, whenever you have a mulatto biracial who doesn't fully identify as black, all of a sudden it's an issue. They need to keep you in their influence. There was a gentleman I did a video about who's like, they need you in their dating pool so they can literally absorb you. They want your European genes. I'm not joking. I'm not playing. Anybody can come up here and debate me on this. I'm going to drop the link after this. They literally want to absorb you. This is why this identity component is so important. They want you to identify with them so they can have access to you. Okay? They don't even respect the fact that you're your own entity. More on that later. Fair use.
calling herself colored. Remember when I said that the one drop rule is distinctly unique to the United States of America and technically, I guess, Canada. Although, if there are historians out there that can speak better to this, put a comment below. But I said that because it is. Tyla is from South Africa. They have.
I want to basically input something there that the one drop rule, it works in there's different facets, because yeah, in America you oftentimes will get one dropped into blackness in a lot of cases, not always. Like I said, I was up there in Oregon a few years ago, like a 98% white Anglo-Saxon state, and people recognized right away that I was mulatto. There wasn't none of this, oh, you're a Negro, you're black. They know the difference up there. Okay. We're just surrounded by nothing but whites. They see a person like me walk up in there. Lady even said, oh, you're a mulatto, right? Right. This was a few years ago. So it's not, the term mulatto is not as archaic as a lot of these pro-wax want you to think it is. And so yeah, like I said, with the one drop rule, it does happen often here in the United States, but also in Africa too. When I was in my journey in Ghana, West Africa, and even in Kenya, I have testimony and statements from other people who've been to Kenya. I haven't been yet. I'd like to go. They will literally one drop you into whiteness. If you like a guy like Chris Brown, someone like him, his complexion, whatever, Will Smith or someone like that, they'll call you literally a white man publicly. Because they know, hey, you're not from there. You got some white in you. You're mixed with something else. The African people there will literally one drop you into whiteness. Even Toenail Breaker can attest to that, because he's well traveled. We've talked, and he even stated that as well. So he's come to the same conclusion. Yeah, a lot of these African nations, you go there, you could be black as fuck. I mean, if you if you go down your family tree and you have like a white family member or a mulatto family member, yeah, the local people, they're gonna one drop you into whiteness, and that's with everybody. I was well received when I was in Ghana. It was so beautiful. Shout out to Afropean Monica. She's over there right now in Ghana. But I remember I was in Ghana back in 2019. There was a lady there who was a classmate, but she was like Chicana. She's Mexican. I think she said she had some African admixture. She could have been multiracial. She looked more Mexican, mestiza presenting, but I remember she was kind of upset because she kind of felt like a lot of people there weren't like accepting her. I remember we went to one of the grocery stores there in Kumasi. She was talking about how she felt like people like bumped into her and didn't recognize her. It kind of bothered her a lot when she was over there. And I kind of felt bad for her. I was like, damn, I don't know. Like I'm like super light skinned. I clearly look like a biracial man. And people were even there's a few people, they even called me a white man out there. I was like, I kind of looked at them like, well, I mean, you're kind of half correct. You're not fully correct, but you're kind of half correct. But it wasn't an insult. But getting back to that lady, and it was like she just had a bad time. She like was the out grouping. She felt like she didn't belong there. To me, the reception was way different. I felt like people had open arms. Like a lot of people wanted to share their culture with me. It was so different than when you and here in the United States of America, you have this kind of slave conquered culture. Like I said, with the African American population, where they accept the Canadians and non-ADOS and the LGBT, as long as you're dark skinned, oh, you're good. You're LGBT, that's a plus. They're all good. But if you're biracial, all of a sudden they're jealous. All of a sudden, I don't trust you. I trust my white massa to pay me on time, but you half white, I don't trust you. All of a sudden, the slave gets jealous. So it was just completely different. When I saw in Ghana, I was like, wow, these people are so nice. The nicest people on the planet that I've met so far. I've been to about 4 different countries. I'm not as traveled as I like to be. I'll probably be in Brazil pretty soon. Go to Brazil, but I mean, the Ghanaian people, these African people, all dark skinned, they are the nicest people I've ever met. So that's why I can't wait till I go back. Let me continue on with this clip. Got a little off topic, fair use.
Have a different relationship to blackness, to people being mixed, who's indigenous to the land, than Americans do. While indigenous South African groups would be considered black and descendants of British and Dutch colonists are white, a third group, colored, refers to South African citizens of mixed ethnicity, often descended from interracial couplings between native black Africans and white settlers. Tyla is Indian, Mauritian, and Zulu, so she is mixed race. For her, at least in South Africa, she would say she's colored. South African girlies, if you want to add more context and clarity to this,
Yeah, and there was like a few South African women actually in the comments, but I'm not going to get into all that, who actually kind of chimed in about that. But yeah, they're a whole racial classification they have there. And I'm going to do a stream on that soon. I don't know when, before Christmas. Just give kind of my opinion on South African colored, some of the challenges they have, but also some of the things we can learn from them as a group because they are a recognized group. That's what we want here, right? Talking about the United States in America. But I don't know. A lot of these biracials in America just want to find a black ass to kiss. But let's continue on.
also chat below. We have to realize that America truly is not the center of the world. Western culture is not the center of the world. There are other perspectives. The Black diaspora is going to be filled with many different types of identifications, and that should be okay.
Okay, I want to pause there because what she said, because she's going to contradict herself later on in the stream, we're going to find out. She literally just said the Black diaspora is filled with many different identifications, and that's okay. Okay, this is very, important to note that. I'm going to rewind it, play that again, because she's going to contradict herself. Because she uses this term mutability, which is liable to change. But see, it's okay to change if they can use you for their pro-black LGBT liberal agenda. That's okay. But if you're identifying with your European side and it's not pro-black, it's not liberal, it's not LGBT, all of a sudden they have an issue with that. Let's hear what she says again. She says the African diaspora. So she's trying to pull in this multiracial, this colored identified woman back under the Negro influence. This is black supremacy that she's talking about. She wants to pull all the mixed people back underneath her influence, right? To serve her agenda. If it serves her, like I said, pro-black, pro-LGBT, critically important.
Is going to be filled with many different types of identification. There are other perspectives. The Black diaspora is going to be filled with many different types of identifications, and that should be okay.
The Black diaspora is filled with many different identifications, and that should be okay. That's important because she's going to contradict herself. I'm repeating myself again because, I'm going to clip this later on when I'm done with this here, because it's like this shit is hilarious. These people, they literally look at you as you are here as a utility to be used and serve them. And if you don't serve them, if you don't support their pro-black, pro-dark skin, pro-LGBT, pro-liberal propaganda agenda, they're going to label you as a racist, a hateful, and all this stuff. They're going to outgroup you. If they can't use you to their agenda, which is basically white acceptance. We all know what, Goldilocks here with the blonde hair, they all want white acceptance, gay, dark skin, whatever, LGBT. If they can't use you, they're going to try to push you out. I mean, I'm just here reporting the news, guys. I'm one dude reporting the news, What are you going to do?
Racial classification was used as a way to justify further exploitation and subjugation of anyone considered not white. And for this specific case, any type of black blood mixed in you, sorry, you're not pure enough. To eugenics, where purity and ableist thinking reign supreme. We want.
Okay, like I said, another buzzword, trigger word. She says ableist. She's gonna say it again. Okay, ableist. That's like, to me, that's like a LGBT buzzword because it falls in line with intersectionality. Ableist. Now, look, I'm well acquainted with the mental health sphere. Okay, in where I'm from in California, the mental health field and industry is heavily funded. They actually have propositions that were passed where the richest, wealthiest people within their tax bracket, a percentage of their income goes to mental health programs. So California is actually a pretty wealthy state. It's one of the wealthiest states in the world. You compare it to like countries, it's like within the top like 15. Just a standalone state alone. It's one of the wealthiest places in the world. And they have a lot of funding for mental health. And that's when I've heard this ableist and able and all this stuff. Where am I getting with that? Yeah, to me, when I hear that crap, this woman say that, I'm saying it's crap because I'm like, look, how is that applicable to this conversation of biraciality or multiracialness or embracing your heritage? This ableist, why are you throwing that in there? This is intersectionality. To me, it just screams LGBTism. That's all it is, guys. Right? Okay, yeah.
The best human beings. We want the most sophisticated. We want the most, I don't know. Y'all are weird. I just can't even think like that. Like, what does that even?
Y'all are weird. Y'all, no, we want good people. We want honest people who are hardworking. She's like, they want the most able-bodied, sophisticated. Y'all are weird. Who's y'all? We want good people. We want good tax-paying people who obey the law. Okay. Who are good people. I don't understand how hard that is, when they get into all these struggle terminologies like ableist and colorist and capitalist and all this shit. Like, you would not be here with your 600,000 plus subscribers, monetize YouTube channel. Go try to do this in Gambia. Okay, you're Canadian American, all this stuff. Like, look, you're capitalizing on the insecurity of the dark-skinned African American class, the former slave class, who basically just want to be entertained. They have this form of escapism. They want to escape the reality of the situation that they are basically the designated bottom class of the United States. They want to escape that. So they need entertainment. You are here to provide them that entertainment. And and I'm sitting here like, whatever, man. Fair use.
Mean. Y'all think so highly of yourselves.
When I hear this y'all stuff, that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, You want that you want that African American struggle dollar, don't you? Yeah. Y'all. You guys know what I'm saying with that? Y'all.
Please, Kellogg, please look it up. Famous eugenicist. Anyway, what it means to be classified as white has changed over time. There were a lot of immigrants, Eastern European immigrants, famously the Irish. Gang, gang. What's up, y'all? Jewish folks, all classified under not necessarily being white. But this doesn't mean that they did not also participate sometimes in further subjugating Black folks. Because if you're being subjugated,
Okay, we're going to get into that. I'm just going to take a quick segue. All right, I got a question for you guys. Did you guys hit the like button? Because I'm looking at my likes. Got some likes up in here, but I'd like a few more. If you guys are listening, you like the content, hit the like button. I guess right now, kind of halfway through the clip. Yeah, shout out to you guys. Bastard baby makers. Now, I didn't come up with that term. That was Jason Black, the Black Authority. He came up with that. I heard him say that. And I think it's very fitting because he definitely sees the same thing a lot of everyone else basically sees. Not many people call it out. You literally have people out here whose intention is to get knocked up and to have a kid, and they want to be the sole, what they call the basically sole provider, I guess you could say sole guardian, bastard baby maker. Yeah, their whole intention to get knocked up is to kick the man out. That's a whole nother discussion. But look, they're basically, you got bastard baby makers. Hey, what's going on, Flowers? And then of course Katie's in the house. Yeah, I saw your comment the other day, Katie. So I'm definitely want to. I'm gonna do a video about it because what you said was a lot of us have experienced that as well. And shout out to you. I haven't seen you in a minute, so yeah. So I hear that song makes me feel like when my mouth waters before vomiting. Can't help it. I mean, make me water. It's literally her saying "make me pee." Yeah. Nah, I don't know. I barely heard that song like a week ago. I don't know. I guess it's on pop radio. Sorry, hey MV, it's been a while. I've been listening to this blonde idiot since like 20 minutes after you went live. Who's a blonde idiot? This person here on the screen? This black lady with the Goldilocks wigs. She's indoors. Look, I'm not going to, I'm not going to be here to talk about her looks and all that, but to me, it's the LGBT stuff, okay? And the thing that I don't like is they try to hide and pretend like they're not like pushing an agenda. That literally we can tell by looking at you like you're not a straight woman. This woman with the glasses and blonde extensions and the bull nose ring. Like there's something else going on here, okay? And it's we gotta be able to identify this. They have so much of aversion to excellence. What is that about? Yeah. Let's continue on. Fair use.
and another group is being worse off than you, you're going to participate in that being worse off. I talked about how in Canada, a lot of the performers of blackface were Jewish and Irish immigrants. So, yeah. Like solidarity, y'all, but also let's not forget.
That's another term she used. The first term she used that kind of caught my attention. Damn, there are so many terms she used. Damn it. I just thought of it too. Okay, solidarity. Let's start with that. That's a completely leftist charged term. They're not talking about united, right? Every other racial demographic unites. The United Arab Emirates, the Arabic people unite. White people unite. United States, United Kingdom, right? They unite. Okay, all these other groups unite. When you talk to this conquered individual, it's about solidarity. Being in solidarity with us. We have no power. We're proud victims. We sing and dance to songs about hurting ourselves, all this hip hop and gangster rap. We sing and dance about hurting ourselves. That's okay because we're proud victims, but we need solidarity. Yeah, solidarity At the university I attended in Southern California, I remember hearing that crap, in the African Student Union. I'd hear some of these people talk about that term, solidarity. They're talking about getting these other groups to join their plight, like Hispanics and all these other POC groups. So in the liberal Negro sphere, typically connected with academia. And of course, they're all infiltrated by LGBT. Call in a spade a spade. When I hear this stuff, these buzzwords like solidarity, you know what you're getting. Fair use.
Because colorism is a real big issue.
And of course, colorism. Yeah, you got to throw that in there, right? Ableism, colorism, solidarity. She said mutability. But of course, mutability is good for her because she's Canadian, Gambian, and American. So she can have 3 different national identities. That's okay for her because she's a good struggle victim. Blonde locks, blonde extensions, dark skin, LGBT. That's okay for her. But you, the biracial, the straight heterosexual mulatto or mulatto woman, biracial individual, the white parent, black parent, look, you're not, they want you to serve them and they're going to try to shame you. I don't know how long that's going to work for. I'm just here, basically reporting, adhering to their sensibilities, and they don't give a damn about themselves, sadly. On TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, even here, some idiot out in Houston, I call him the Golden Pookie. That guy has no sense of identity. He's never met his daddy. He's basically just black identified. He's even publicly said he prefers black women over biracial women, even though he's biracial. A guy like that who says that, like, I'll never respect a guy like that. If you are a biracial man and you prefer other women who are over biracial women, I just can't respect you. Sorry. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I don't give a shit about you. Okay. Because over here on this channel and social media, whatever I'm doing, I'm a biracial dude. I prefer biracial women. Period. So if I hear a guy out here like these black identified guys who want to say, oh, they prefer black woman or light skinned woman over biracial woman, don't come over to my channel. Okay. Don't come over here acting dumb because I will clown you. Let me continue on. Fair use.
I think a lot of us have become more critical of this proximity to whiteness and what that does to how much solidarity you can actually have with that.
Like I said, she throws out the definition of solidarity, which I already read. Like I said, it's liberal LGBT. Okay, that's the important thing. I've already gave you guys my testimony when I've never heard a white individual in the United States of America ever use that term solidarity. It is a super liberal POC charged term that they use within the kind of academic realm. And always LGBT is always kind of lurking in the back, around the corner, just, this whole solidarity concept. Yeah. Yeah. Which be in unity, in agreement with us, a feeling or an action, right? Be with us, be on our team. And what do they want? Proximity to whiteness. But she's going to throw shade at the people that trust. They don't trust you because you have proximity to whiteness. She's going to use this term racial mutability. But of course, for her, like I said, the mutability is cool. It applies to her because she's Gambian. Excuse me if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. From Gambia. Okay. And then she's Canadian and American. So in nationalistic lines, it's okay for her. Because she dark skinned. Ooh, girl, you got the dark skin. Ooh, girl. And you LGBT. Ooh, girl. So it's cool for her. And she says, y'all. She can get the confused, conquered slaves in America. Okay, she can get them. She says, y'all, oh, she a real one. She a queen. She's speaking my lingo, right? Because she says y'all, so she's invited to the cookout. She's dark skinned, y'all. You know what I'm saying? She's dark skinned. She speaks the language. So she's a good one. But you biracial, you got that proximity to whiteness. Oh no. See, the underlying thing is that jealousy and envy component that they will never admit to. I remember I received a comment from Miranda. Shout out to Miranda's World out in the UK. This was like a year ago. She commented on one of my videos. I haven't seen her for a minute. But Miranda put a comment there and was basically in agreement, like, yeah, it's always going to resort to jealousy and they will never admit it. And I agreed with the lady Miranda. I was telling her, yeah, of course, they're never going to admit that it's jealousy because it will basically show their weakness, their mental weakness. And it's shameful. They don't want to admit that. They're so ashamed that they're envious and jealous of you that they will mask it and hide it under all these other these tricky kind of academic concepts. They'll develop all this type of they'll put on all these masks to hide the fact that they're jealous and envious of you, right? Your palatability, your proximity to whiteness that they want to criticize and critique, but they just wish that they were you, that they had that position. And they'll never admit it. Getting them to admit that, it's almost impossible. They can't. Their ego will not allow them to admit it because they'll expose themselves, right? It's very shameful. And that's one thing they definitely do protect. Part of their ego is the fact that they're jealous of you. Very rarely will they admit that. But this lady here with this video, she's basically trying to use these type, like I said, academically liberal, LGBT charged terms to convince you to stay under their influence. You just got to do better. You got to make it so the blacks can trust you, right? Because we don't really trust you. The one drop rule, we're policing blackness, right? I mean, this is what she's telling you. But it's funny because if you flip it the other way around, it's not acceptable, right? All the work is on you. You got to make them feel comfortable that they can trust you, but they don't have to do a damn thing for your ass. You want to know why? Because none of you cry racials ask for it. Most of you people, I'm saying cry racial, especially for you people who don't like me. A lot of you biracials who want to whine and cry, right, about me, yours truly. I'm talking about your ass, and you know who you are because I know you're listening too. You're going to listen to playback. I know you people. You know who the vanguard is out here. The only man out here who's leading this discussion. All the other subpar channels, they're just scratching the surface. They're really not doing nothing. So I know you're going to listen. Yeah, I'm talking about you. When I say cry racial, I'm talking about your ass. You adhere to monoracial black sensibilities and you don't give a damn about the mulatto plight, about mulatto people having their own space, their own identity, existing on their own, being self-sustaining. Okay. Those are the main ones you're going to have a problem with me. Let me continue on with this. Fair use.
Person, not just based off of the different experiences you might have, but also maybe the privileges or things they're willing to put up with versus what you are or are not because you can't afford to. Hopefully that made sense. I don't know how else to say it, but I'm going to be vulnerable and speak to any.
It doesn't really make sense. It's a lot of liberal academic hogwash, honestly. And I first saw this clip and I saw it and I was like, this is even worth really doing a stream about or talking about it or clipping it. Because you look at her, she's LGBT. She likes women. So she's in competition with you for women. I mean, this is some weird shit. I never really, there's other people out here who can articulate this better than me. I give them that for sure. But I never really noticed this type of dynamic, this social dynamic until I jumped up on YouTube. I was like, you literally have lesbian women, bisexual women, LGBT women, same sex attracted, who are literally competing with you as a man for other women. That's not normal. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit what your degree is, your liberal studies, whatever advanced degree, however many subscribers you have on YouTube, your social media clout. I don't give a shit. It's not normal for a woman, a biological woman, to compete with a man for access to other women. That's not fucking normal. And I've never experienced that off the internet, navigating society. There's might have been a couple places I've seen that, where it's very noticeable this type of person is basically anti-man or they're same-sex attracted. I've seen that for sure. But when you jump on YouTube, you develop a social media presence and you see this, we know the content creators, you're like, holy shit, this is bizarre. This is not normal. Okay, guys, it's not normal. Most people out here, if you're a man, you're attracted to women. Most women are attracted to man. Okay, they want a future, they want a family. That's the normal way of life. So you have these type of people with their nostril pierced, their bull ring, their blonde extensions, their glasses indoors when it's, the sun's not out. You have these type of people, this level of androgyny, if I can say that, who literally like want to compete with you for women. It's not normal, guys. It's not normal. And I don't feel like a lot of men are talking about that. How you literally have this issue out here where you have women who come up here on social media and they're literally trying to demonize men because they're competing with you for women. That's not fucking normal. That's not that. There's nothing normal of the nature of the world of society. I don't know. I can't articulate it like some other people, but I'm looking at this, just thinking about this, witnessing this. Like, come on, guys. Come on. I guess if you can kind of lay out the normacy of someone like me and this woman. What are the first thing they're gonna say with me? Oh, you bald, MV, you bald. I don't shit. You suck this bald. I don't give a fuck, I'm bald. But I'm looking at her like, dude, come on. I'm not on camera now. It's late at night. I don't give a shit. But I'm looking at her, the glasses inside, and all these academically charged terms. You need to speak at a level that's easily digestible to the public. You don't have to try to act like you're all smart. And that's the thing. People get irritated by that crap. You got people out here who want to act like they're the smartest person in the room, and they just turn people off. You're not going to get supporters. People aren't going to mess with you. After a while, they're like, this person's annoying. They want to act all smart, like a smart aleck, and they're like, get out of here. A lot of these type of academics do that. I'm academically trained. I have a bachelor's degree, university level. Okay, yeah, I'm one of these guys. And I do tend to use some words that are a little more sophisticated, but I try to break things down to a simple format that most people can understand. I've done a pretty good job. I mean, the people who comment, who share links, like the lady who wanted me to talk about this, I'm happy to oblige because and she's a solid professional, the woman who wanted me to talk about this. So let me get right back into this fair use.
Sort of negative ill will or weird feelings I might have had towards biracial and mixed race people when they are mixed with Black and other things. Mainly being that their race is mutable, depending on
Their race is mutable. So like I said, when it comes, I've talked about this with Rachel Dolezal. When it comes to the gender component, these people they accept the fact that it's fluid. You could be a dark-skinned Black man, chop off your schlong and act like a woman, get breast implants, and put on a wig. You got one of these biracial guys, one of their best buddies that jumps on their panel. It's got a fucking blue wig on. you know, I laugh because I say it's like a cockroach with a blue wig. It's so despicable. But you got a biracial dude who allows this guy on their platform. It's a guy, it's a dude. Okay, he's got a wig on. It's a dude. It's not a woman, but he wants to act like a woman. And people find that acceptable. Okay, especially in their community, okay, in their community. Okay, that's acceptable for a Black man, dark skinned Black man, whatever, light skin, I don't give a shit, mixed guy, to pretend like they're a woman. That's acceptable in their community. That mutability, liable to change, literally changing their fucking sex and gender, transgender, that's okay with them. But all of a sudden, if you are European and African, you deal with these people, they talk about racial mutability, all of a sudden it's an issue for them. They have an issue with that. But the gender thing, they're okay. Oh, yeah, you could be a woman and act like a dude, be a stud. That's okay. You could be a dude and act like a queen, a woman. That's okay. Do you guys not see the hypocrisy and fuckery that's involved with all of this? I'm just one guy calling it out, and I know I ruffle feathers, which is a good thing. Go cry to your white massa, see what he does about it. But it's really despicable, man. I see this stuff. They have such an issue with us. The jealousy, they have no way of competing, right? That's why they want to sit here and shame you and demonize you. I just don't trust you because your mutability, it's liable to change. Your racial mutability, you're Black and white. I don't trust you. It's not fair. But they trust the guy who wants to be a woman, the transgender, or the woman who wants to be a man. And just like this woman, who's clearly LGBT, she presents as a woman, but you look at her, You're like, yeah, LGBT. But she publicly told you she's American, she's Canadian, and she's from Gambia. So, see, for her, she gets to be all three. She gets to represent three nations. She gets to represent multiple identities. This mutability, that's okay for her because of intersectionality. Because she's number one, she's a woman. Number two, she's a black woman. Number three, she's dark skinned. She's a queen of the community. Number four, she used that trigger term. She used ableist, right? She, because of the intersectional philosophy, she gets all these victimhood points. So she can be anything she wants to be. That's okay for her. But you, the normal biracial person, black, white, all of a sudden it's an issue. I want you guys to see this level of hypocrisy we're dealing with out here. Just because she has over 600K subscribers and a lot of views and all this stuff, look, the algorithm promotes these type of characters because they know they don't have any power in society. They're here to entertain everybody. They don't control any industries. Okay. They're not moving society. So the powers that be want these people to think that they have some type of influence out here. So they will boost their social media presence. I've seen that on TikTok. It's very obvious when you see that. Some of these content creators with their feeble minded, foolish content, and they got loads of subscribers, hundreds of thousands of subscribers and views. You're like, how the hell is this person promoted in the algorithm? Is it just good luck, good work, good work ethic, or is it the quality of content? You know, why are these people promoted? But it's because they are selected, right? They are selected. Yeah, I just wanted to point that out, guys. When I see this racial mutability, I'm like, this is the type of shit we see. It's okay for her, like I already said, because she's intersectional feminist. She adheres to their struggle pyramid. So she could be whatever the hell she wants to be. No problemo. But you, the normal, I'm just a normal, biracial dude out here in America. Normal cat. Okay. I have an in-group preference, which means I prefer biracial people. Women. I'm a straight man. I prefer biracial women. I'm doing what I can to connect with people. So of course I'm the bad guy. All of a sudden, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. But you know who she does trust? She trusts her white massa to give her that Google AdSense paycheck every month. Oh yeah, to get that paycheck from Google, she bet your bottom dollar she trusts her white massa. They all do. But you, the black, white, biracial, oh, they seem to not trust you. Want to know why? Jealousy. Everybody knows it, baby. Continuing on, fair use.
How mixed your background is, people don't always know how to classify you. And that's something to me that I will admit I'm envious of, because it's like, oh, you're able to not have the stereotypes and perceptions associated with X identity placed on you because people don't know what you're all mixed with.
See that right there? I'm going to challenge that. She said she's envious because you don't have the stereotypes. No, but they do have stereotypes. They use terms like internal struggle. You guys hear that? There's a gentleman who is challenging one of the pro-wax kind of interlopers, I would call them. There's a pro-whack interloper who's kind of going back and forth with some Canadian recently. And this interloper guy, this old dude, you know, he should just do his videos about his perfume and stay the fuck out of biracial affairs, okay? Honestly, but this guy has a bias. He doesn't like biracial people, and people are calling him out. We've all seen it. I've been sitting back seeing this, documenting it. Like, we got people out here pro whack, light skin, whatever they call themselves, just interlopers who don't like biracial people, especially if you have a white mom, right? And you're balanced. They don't like you. And you know, this is the type of crap we see out here. Yeah.
Of the stereotypes and perceptions.
Right, the stereotypes. Okay, and so there are stereotypes placed upon us. Like I just said, you have this one guy who's going back and forth with this Canadian, who's an interloper guy who should just be talking about his perfumes and stay the fuck out of biracial affairs. This one guy, he's going to sit here and say internal struggle. He's going to say confused. This same guy, okay, He literally said before, to me, because he, started to act up, getting smart with me before. I just kind of laughed. I'm like, you should just talk about your perfume and go to the gym. Why are you over here? I don't give a shit about you. It's an old dude, and this guy told me, like, oh, the whites don't like you and the blacks don't like you. Typical kind of racist, black racist tropes that they throw on biracial people. But this guy has basically been showing his ass. Some other biracial guy, I think I kind of know who it is, who put a couple comments, was basically like, look, you're attacking biracials. Yeah, I knew this guy was attacking biracials since he opened up his mouth against angry biracial. Look, I don't like angry biracial. Okay, Jesse McBitch, he lied about me. I don't like the guy. But this one interloper, this pro whack, light skinned interloper, who should just stick to his perfume talks, this guy, when I first saw him like do a video on angry biracial, I knew right away. I had my eye on this guy. I was like, okay, this guy's anti-biracial. They're out here and they'll try to dance and pretend and play around like they're nice and they're fair and all this shit. You literally got anti-mulatto people out here, and a lot of them are mulattoes. It's not surprising. A lot of mulattoes don't even like other mulattoes. They just want acceptance into the black monolith. So, like I said, when this lady here says that, oh, I'm jealous of you because you don't have the same like labels, she said, or like, no, they have labels for us. They have racial slurs. They say that we're confused. And like I said, this one interloper who should be talking about his perfume, this guy says we have internal struggles. He was using that to talk about this biracial woman who I don't like. I don't respect either. Okay. I'm not going to give that idiot any clout. This biracial woman who's older than me, but she talks about me, has my name in her mouth. And I don't have any fucking respect for her. Okay. She's a scumbag. But she is biracial. And this one guy who's positioned himself as an outgroup male is going to sit here commenting on this woman. And he's going to say that, oh, she has an internal struggle. And another biracial guy pointed it out, like, why, these people make these digs at us. So these are tropes that these monoracial identified people throw at us. They want to sit there and say we're confused and that we have internal struggles. You don't think we're documenting you people? You don't think we're sitting back watching you people? I've been doing this for the past decade. I've only been uploading content for the past year. I've been watching you people say all this shit for a while now. I've been sitting back quietly. It's only now that I'm up here blabbing my mouth. But I'm seeing this stuff. Like, they literally have negative tropes about us as biracials. So let me continue on because, like I said, she's just jealous. She even said it herself out of the horse's mouth. She's envious of us. No, they do label us too. They say we have identity issues, we're confused, we have internal struggles when we're just out here existing. My position is I got to get away from a lot of you LGBT weirdos because you want to destroy our group. You want to destroy us and absorb us. And I'm going to say it like that because this is what I'm seeing with you people, a lot of you. Okay. So take it how you want to. Continuing on, fair use.
Associated with X identity placed on you because people don't know what you're all mixed with. Now, I am ethnically mixed. And what I mean by that is Gambian, Canadian.
Nationally. Ethnically is language, cultural association. You should say her culture, Canadian or American. See, you see this funny crap here. You're a monoracial black woman, okay? And what I would say is her identity, how she identifies is LGBT. That's over her race, over her religion, and it's over her nationalistic you know, uh it's, I don't know how to say that. It's over her allegiance to her country, patriotism. That LGBT basically supersedes all of that. That's the identity. And of course, she's going to be very discreet about that because most people are not aligned with that. That's a small percentage of the population in America. It's like 1%, if that. And unfortunately, a lot of these, yeah, unfortunately, a lot of these people fall into that. A lot of these mulattoes, they are into that, especially for what I'm seeing. Unfortunately, so of course, I'm going to piss a lot of them off. Fuck, what do I care? But yeah, so like I was saying, she's getting it mixed up and confused, talking about ethnicity. Okay. No, you're LGBT, it's a national, the mutability is, national. Yeah. We're not the same, miss. Okay. And we know that. We acknowledge that. You should respect that. You're not going to shame us talking about, well, a lot of blacks, we just don't trust you. I don't give a damn what you trust. Okay. Okay. Because we know you trust your white massa to pay you on time. When it comes to us, you want to act funny. Hey, we're just going to be here to call it out. And I see a lot of these mulattoes acting funny style. Okay. Like this one guy who saw himself telling this biracial woman who I don't even respect. Like I said, I don't even fucking respect this one particular biracial woman because she's a shitty parent and she's an even shittier YouTuber, a shitty person. I don't respect her, but I'm seeing this outgroup man who's, in his 50s, who shouldn't even be on YouTube arguing with younger people. He should just be talking about his fucking perfume, going somewhere quiet, and shutting the fuck up. He wants to throw shots at biracial people. And I'm seeing this like, nah, yeah, these people throw shots at biracials. You think we're all going to sit around and just laugh and accept it? Why are you even here? The thing is with me, I'm one of the serious guys out here. Look, I just want something for my own. Okay, I want something for myself. I want something where people have some integrity around here and we acknowledge who we are. We're existing. We have our own think tank. This is an information network. This is a think tank for us. Okay, it's not a little hangout spot. I mean, for sure, I want people to be comfortable, but what I'm saying is I'm more serious than some of these other people. Yeah, some of these content creators, they desperately need their little membership, their membership YouTube dollars. And I'm not gonna hate their struggle, but I know you need it more than me. I don't give a fuck. This channel, my other channel is gonna get monetized, not my mulatto channel, my own professional ESL, my business channel. I don't need these little pennies here on YouTube like that. I'm not gonna throw my integrity out the window. YouTube takes what 25-30% of every dollar you make. You're not making no money like that if you don't pull in big numbers. Fuck out of here. You're not fooling me. But if you're going to throw your integrity out the window for a couple dollars, I mean, shit. Don't expect me to respect you. But yeah, when I see some of these other characters, like I said, outgroup males or outgroup women, whatever, if they want to use some, if they're accurate in their analysis and critiques, then I could definitely listen to it. But I know I'm speaking vaguely here for guys, for some of the audience who doesn't know. But no, I saw something the other day. Some other biracial dude called out. You have these people making digs talking about internal struggle. This is another, you guys got to document these buzzwords that these monoracial infiltrators have basically designated to throw us, to try to shame us, because that's all they can do, to try to bring us back in under their influence, right? The cat's out the bag. We have our own shit now. Okay, now you're just basically a creepy interloper, okay, trying to basically guilt us to pull us back in and all this stuff. Look, the cat's out the bag now. That's your only weapon is that. Okay. Let me continue on. Fair use.
Being American, lived in Canada and America 15 years each respectively, now a year longer in Canada or two. I've been back and forth to Gambia. My family is Gambian. So I do identify with mixed and biracial people in terms of sometimes not feeling like you have a place.
Yeah, she only identifies with the biracial and mixed people as far as the sexual component. I'm going to say it because I know she's not going to say it. But as far as the LGBT sexual component, as far as just not fitting in, because she's saying, oh, nationalistic lines, she's like, oh, well, I'm from Canada, Gambia, in America, so I know how you feel by not fitting in. No, you're a dark-skinned queen of the community, disproportionately LGBT, disproportionately liberal. They all vote for liberal politicians. Most of their, no, you fit right in with them because your philosophy is aligned with them. And even for me, what really was like the cherry on top is when she's saying y'all, like I said, which is basically a Southern United States of American contraction typically with the Negro community. Y'all people need to find Jesus. Y'all people don't listen to Nipsey Hussle. Right? So if you say y'all, that to me is a key word. She's letting me know that what type of audience she's basically trying to pull. Right? And yeah, so don't sit up here and pretend like you identify with us because we don't know where to fit in, blah blah blah. No, we're fitting in. I'm fitting in pretty good. I'm looking at my chat right now. I got mulatto women who have literally been here for the past year. We have Katie Love. She's a California girl. Okay. I think we're around the same age. We got Telling Stewart Flowers, who's a California woman. So we're California people, and she's an older generation woman. And these people have been on the channel supporting me for the past year. So I already have my tribe. I already know where I fit in. I've already done what I've needed to do to curate a certain audience and people that I want to identify with, network with, and work with. So I'm not confused about anything. I'm just letting you know these type of people with their larger platforms, the days of you people speaking about us and not getting a response is over. We have a voice now. We're here. We're going to challenge the rhetoric. Let's continue on. Fair use.
To belong, at least for me culturally, that would be the issue, because I was never quite Black enough to hang out with Black folks, but I was also an immigrant, so that was also off, but I was still Black, so sometimes I could kick it, but I also wasn't white, so that was also a weird background.
I don't know about that. She's like, well, wasn't Black enough, so I couldn't kick it. I don't know. You look at me and look at you. They're going to invite you to the cookout. All you got to do is keep doing what you're doing, sis. Say y'all. Tell them that if you want to get real bonus points with these people, tell them that, you listen to Nipsey Hussle. Okay. What else is there? Tell them that you're a victim of white supremacy. Okay. That you're a proud victim. So we got that. Say y'all. Say you listen to Nipsey Hussle. Say you like Beyonce. She's going to talk about Beyonce here, but I'm not going to play that part. So yeah, that's it. Tell them you like Beyonce. Say y'all. And she already knows this. She's on cue. Okay, with her mannerisms, like she already knows how to fit in with that group. Okay. Just be a good proud victim, be a struggle victim, cry and complain about the white people, the same people you love and worship. That's all you got to do. And you're good. I mean, they'll accept you. Shit. You're invited to the cookout, sis. You know. Someone said it before. I'm going to say it here right now. Like being a biracial man, right? It's interesting because I honestly, there's other gentlemen who stated this before. I'm gonna have to agree with them. A couple other gentlemen. I definitely feel like your status is higher in other groups than the Black group in America. If you're a biracial man, if you are one of these social justice warriors, you're already kind of grandfathered in with the civil rights retreads or the church or something like that, or the sports world for sure. Like these athletes, these mulatto athletes or entertainers, they're already kind of grandfathered in to the community, like a Drake, a Drizzy, or something like that, or Steph Curry. But if you're a normal, everyday, average biracial guy in America, I'm talking about United States of America, I honestly feel like your status and value is going to be a lot higher in other communities. I'm from California, so yeah, if you're in the white community or the Latino community, you're a biracial guy. You just have your head on straight. Okay, be a decent man, hardworking man, work hard. You're going to get a lot farther. I see it. I mean, there's mulatto men who are cage fighters that I have connects with on my Instagram. And these guys have, non-black, non-mulatto partners. They're married into, the white group or Latino group. And there's another gentleman actually married to a mulatto woman. But all these guys are doing very well. Like these are solid professionals, like six-figure plus earners. Some of them are running for office in their respected district. These are solid guys. I'm looking at these mulatto men. I'm like, their value is so much higher than if they were in the Black community. Like it's just amazing. But I feel like with you know, I wanted to point that out for whatever reason. I just thought about that because a couple other men mentioned that before. And I agree with them on that. I thought about that myself, was like, yeah, you really got to bend over backwards and do more than anybody else just to fit into a group that it's like they don't even like you. They wish they were you. It's bizarre. Why are you there? I'm just using my platform to kind of spread awareness. I'm talking to some of these guys who are lost in the sauce. Like, why are you there? Like, you know, you're not getting a good deal out of the situation. Maybe you should, reevaluate your position. Let me continue on. Fair use.
To be in, and then I'd go to Gambia and they'd be like, well, you're white, and I was like, but I'm not white. It was a very confusing thing. So I do sympathize with anyone that is mixed race or biracial that feels like they're in this limbo space and they don't feel like they have a place that they belong because they're not one thing. But
I am one thing. I'm mulatto. Holistically, wholly 100% mulatto male. 100% mulatto man. So I am one thing. So I do belong. Like I've already said, I've developed social media, small but growing. The more effort I put into this, the more it grows. I've already developed my own thing. Like I have a sense of belonging. I have good people here. People who are interlopers or troublemakers, I just get them up out of here. Don't have to associate with them. They want to try to shame you. That's the funny thing I want to point out before I move on. You have the interlopers, the pro-wax, the interlopers. They literally want to shame you for not wanting to identify with them. They'll throw out their labels like you're a bigot or you're a homophobe or something. And it's like, it's not against the law to not want to associate with you. I'm sorry. You can cry on social media and on YouTube and cry to your white massa all day, but I don't have to associate with you. There's no law that says I have to deal with you. But they try to act like they try to enforce this kind of arbitrary policy that I have to deal with these people. I don't have to deal with you. Okay. You're a scumbag or degenerate. I just block you. Get out of here. I don't have to deal with you people. You're not coming over here. You're not coming correctly. I don't have to deal with you. But they try to force themselves on you. That's the thing. It's this infringement. I call this monoracial pro-whack infringement. They want to police your content, police your speech, censor you. They want to infringe upon your group. When I've left all their groups, right, all the pro-whack shit, I just unsubscribed for all them. I left all those groups, those spaces. I was like, I'm out. It's too hostile for someone like me. I'm out of there. Fuck that. Let me go somewhere and regroup and build. Yeah, fair use.
sometimes some of y'all use that to your advantage, which, hey, get in where you fit in, but then you don't show up for the people that are part of that group or identity that you allegedly belong to. You only belong.
See, what I'm saying is like this concept of show up, but you don't show up for them people that you say you belong to. What she's saying is be a mule. Be a fucking mule. Mule for pro blacks. You don't show up. You don't go to the BLM pro whack rallies. You don't show up for us. It's never going to end, people. I've been to a demonstration on campus. There was like a racial incident, and I showed up there. And there were some of these dark skins, they weren't happy to see me there. They're jealous. They're like, ah, I wish I looked like you. These whites would like me better. I've been in these situations. So when she talks about show up, you don't show up to the BLM rally. It's never going to end. You can show up to 1,000 BLM rallies. They're jealous of the fact that you have proximity to whiteness and they don't. So it doesn't matter how much work and effort you do. It's never going to be good enough. They're going to use that over your head. It's a control mechanism for them. They want to use that. So you're continuing to work, continuing to give free labor, okay, emotional, physical, and otherwise. They're going to try to force you and shame you to continue to work for them for fake acceptance. You don't get nothing out of it. So it's funny when I hear this, like, do the work. Like, dude, I met Dr. Umar. I met Maxine Waters. Like I said, I participated in a demonstration on the university campus that I was at. There was a racial incident. I was there. I've already done all the work. I volunteered in a Martin Luther King Jr. parade. That's where I met Maxine Waters. I've done all the work for you people. You people are ungrateful. You've had these mulattoes begging for your acceptance for all these years. Now the mulattoes are like, fuck that. I don't have to deal with you people unless you bring something or offer something. I don't have to deal with you. Now all of a sudden, see, now they're talking about it's an issue. I don't trust you. Good. Don't trust me. Just make sure you stay your ass over there. I'll be over here. And what I'm doing with over here, it's growing. You can cry to your white massa, try to stop it, but good luck with that. Let's continue on for use.
Onto them when you wanted the cool cachet. In the 90s, early 2000s, and the 2010s, Black culture started becoming more dominant. And not just dominant, but also a cool cachet.
Oh, she's like a historian now. Cool cachet. Because you had TLC and you had Beyonce and Destiny's Child. But black culture in America is like 100 years. I mean, literally jazz, right? Even in after jazz, the Motown era is all black artists, the music. So hasn't it always been a thing? Is it just the 90s? I'm a 90s baby. Like I said, I think we're about the same age. We're both millennials here. But she's acting like, oh, it's so cool to be in the 90s. Like, yeah, it's the same as it's always been. Like, you are the entertainment class in America. She thinks this is American kind of context coming out of her speaking here. Like, you are literally here to dance and sing for everybody. That's why she showed pictures of TLC and Beyonce and Aaliyah and all these people. I'm like, that's how it's always been, lady. Like I said, with the jazz, the big band, the big bands in the jazz swing era, with the blues era, and then you had, the funk era, disco funk, and all this stuff. It's always been that, man. It's always been like the hip people, right? You're just here to entertain. I don't understand where you act like the 90s is so much different. It's so cool now. What's the difference now? Like, you have all these people trying to quote unquote act black, but a lot of these people they'll let you know right away they're not black, and they'll let you know how racist they are. It doesn't matter if they're Latino or Asian or white. Like, all these groups, like, I just love that she says the cultural cachet part. Right. The interesting thing is the mulattoes have contributed to all that along the way. I'm trying to get a lot of them to see that. Reclaim your history, reclaim what is yours, because they're trying to paint everything that a mulatto has accomplished, just saying it's a black win. And then you see today, 2023, these same people are going to jump up on YouTube and try to outgroup you and kick you out of the damn group. How does that make you feel? Like, you can't claim your accomplishments and your wins, right? Adam Clayton Powell, Charles Drew, Thurgood Marshall, W.E.B. Du Bois, all these people, Bob Marley, all these people who've contributed to humanity, the society, the world, they want to claim them all, okay, as their wins for black progress, but then they're going to outgroup your ass. Aren't you tired of it? See, that's the thing with me, was one of the main components that I realized. If we really want to establish something, we got to look at this historical component. We got to look at the past and draw inspiration from that and pull from that, document it, and represent it in a way that's to our liking, because it's us, it's ours, right? They're literally taking your history, rewriting your history, and blackwashing it, and they're essentially erasing you. Let's continue on for use.
From clothing to music to the way some of y'all talk.
Yeah, and she's one of them. She's exemplifying that. Like I said, with saying y'all, right? That was like the main giveaway when I saw this. It was like, y'all, really? But you're from Gambia, you're from Canada. But see, all those identities, the mutability, that's good for you. That's cool with you, right? Because you're an LGBT social justice warrior. That's perfectly okay. But the straight mulatto man, oh no, I don't trust you. Well, good. Don't trust me. Just make sure you fork over a couple dollars or dance for me or sing, and everything will be all right. Let me continue on. Fair use.
It became clear that Black American culture was the zeitgeist. And as a result, a lot of people were trying to bank in on that. A certain family of people, especially. And then we all remember the Rachel of it all.
She said a certain family of people are trying to bank in on it, right?
Are you African American?
I don't understand.
Like I said, this is what really bothers them is the white women, right? You see this dark-skinned black woman crying about proximity to whiteness because she's not a white woman, because white women are the most desired women on the planet, okay? And close to them, I would say Asian women. I would still say white women are on top as far as most desirability politics, because that's all they care about. You talk to, dark-skinned black women in America, I'd say desirability politics is their number one thing. They don't give a shit about anything else. They don't care about white supremacy, racism, none of that. It's all hogwash. All they care about is who the men that prefer them, right? Or the women in this case, that woman, because she's LGBT, right? So she wants to be preferred. And so she has an issue when she sees this white woman trying to act like she's black. All of a sudden, she's like, oh, I don't like this. But they're perfectly okay. Like I said, I'm going to say it again. They're perfectly okay with a woman trying to act like a dude or a dude trying to act like a woman. That's okay. But as far as this racial component, which a lot of them say, we're all human beings, race is a social construct, right? Isn't that what they tell you? But when it comes to this situation of black and white and biraciality, all of a sudden it's a fuzzy, funny subject, right? Well, I'm here to talk about it, give you some clarity because you have the 100% mulatto man here, heterosexual mulatto man letting you know what it is.
The question.
It's funny because you have Wendell Williams. Oh, excuse me, Wendy Williams. You have here with her blonde, wig. You can't make this shit up, right? She's a black queen, but she's got her blonde wig on, right? And the cheetah print. She's got the cheetah print outfit on too, right? Yeah, for sure. I'm just guessing, why does she use this? Why does she use Wendell? Excuse me, I mean Wendy Williams. Why is she using this woman here as like this kind of cute, kind of, uh, kind of quirky type of example, like this meme here? Because like she's got a fucking blonde wig on. This is a African American woman. Is that her natural hair color? Doubt it. But just like you have the main woman, the dark skinned queen with the bull ring and sunglasses on indoors, commenting. And it's like, she's got a blonde wig on, blonde hair. Look at her. She's got blonde hair too.
Some of these racially ambiguous folks, trust issues. I was having trust issues, especially.
She's got trust issues. And see, all this is because they can't physically get you to do what they want them to do, which is basically offer yourself on a platter to them because they want your genes. They want sexual access to you, right? The LGBT people, they want access to you and they want your genes, right? So they can only shame you. Like I said, this trust issues. She has trust issues with you. We're like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, you're going to have trust issues with everybody, every race. But they pull this shit with you. They want to pull you back into this influence. Look, if you don't, get out of here, That's my whole opinion. Like, I don't give a fuck if you don't trust me. Keep your ass over there with the rest of them over there. Your 600,000 subs and your white paymasters. Go over there. Stay over there. I'm not in your group. So it's crazy how they still try to pull this trust thing but they want to keep you under their influence. And what that is, that trust thing, they're telling you, you got to work to build their trust. It's all about working. They want you to do all the damn work. You got to fight white supremacy. You got to use your light skin privilege, your proximity to whiteness to benefit them, the darker skinned people. That's all it is when they talk about this trust. So how are you going to prove to them that you're trustworthy? You got to do all the damn work. They don't have to do shit. She can sit on her ass, watching Netflix, eating hot Cheetos, looking at all the light-skinned women, chasing all the light-skinned women, right? The mixed women. She can do that because she's dark-skinned, intersectional, feminist hierarchy. She's on the top of the struggle pyramid. She doesn't have to do shit. It's you people. It's you people with the proximity to whiteness. You got to do all the work. That's what she talked about, this trust thing. Because you're sitting here like, well, wait a second. I'm not going to work for your monkey ass unless I'm getting paid. How much does it pay? You want me to work? What? That's what that whole trust issue is about. I don't trust you. I don't give a fuck what you don't trust. If you're not dancing, singing songs, or paying me, I'm not gonna fucking deal with you. I don't give a shit who doesn't like my tone. I'm insulted by the fact that you got people out here in 2023 talking about trusting me. Like it's an insult because they only tell you that. They don't tell their white massa, their white pay massa about trust. They trust that their white massa is going to pay them on time. They trust that the Asian people that they give all their money to is going to give them a good quality product. They trust that the Mexican individual is going to offer them their service or, you know, whatever business they have. They trust. Trust is never an issue with all these other racial demographics. It's never a trust issue. It's only you. And that is to basically um, exploit your labor from you as a mulatto, as a biracial. They use this trust situation to exploit your labor. So they get you to work for them for this invisible carrot on a stick, what I tell people, this black acceptance. So therefore, if you work harder, oh, you can build trust, but you have to work in order to build, you can build trust. It makes no sense. Like, I'm a millennial guy. I'm a younger dude, man. I'm in my early 30s. I'm looking at this like, look, guys, I'm trying to save you people the effort. I've experienced a lot of this stuff already. I've traveled the country. I've networked and talked with a lot of people. Look, it's an unwinnable situation. If you are a black, white, biracial man, I don't give a damn if your mama's black or your mama's white. If you are a mulatto person, you identify as that, you got to build your own shit. And we're not all going to get along. A lot of us will. I think a lot of us won't. We're in an infantile stage of this development, of this kind of community cohesion. We're trying to build something. Most of us are probably not going to get along. You got to build your own shit. It's not easy, but to me, I'm seeing the dividends. I'm proud. I'm doing this right now, talking to you guys because a woman, Mulatto, requested it. And you guys have that capability too. You can message me and submit a request, and I will possibly oblige. But you guys got to create your own shit, man. You got to get out up from underneath these people who want to tell you that, oh, I just don't trust you. And, you know, like what? I'm insulted that they literally have the nerve to tell you about trust. I don't owe you anything. If anything, you owe me because I literally helped my ancestors, other mulattoes, helped your ass get out of slavery. If I'm not mistaken, it was Frederick Douglass, okay, runaway slave, mulatto man, who wrote books, who worked with abolitionists to help your ass get out of slavery. If I'm not mistaken, it was Thurgood Marshall, Supreme Court Justice, mulatto man, who helped sign legislation, help pass legislation, and give you more rights. Throughout history, it's been mulattoes who helped these people. That's why it's the fucking nerve for them to literally have the balls to tell you today about trust issues. If anything, I don't trust your ass. You need to start doing some work for me. I'm just trying to switch the power dynamic to let people know, look, you don't have to be a majority out here. The Jewish people are not the majority in the United States of America, but look how much political and social and economic influence they have in society, where they literally just got a bill passed talking about if you say anything that's against Zionism, it's the equivalent to anti-Semitism, right? They're a very small population, a fraction of population in America, but their networking capability, their group cohesion is on fleek like none other. So they still are able to show their influence in society, even being a small demographic. We can take the East Indians from India, are a very small demographic in the United States of America, but they are probably the highest earners per capita of any other demographic in America, on par with the Jewish community. A lot of them are in tech, but a lot of them are business owners as well. East Indian people I'm talking about. And so they have a small percentage, but they have a level of group cohesion. They still have political, social influence to a degree. A political degree. Kamala Harris is half Indian, vice president. And even you have this VVAC presidential candidate, like they're already jumping into politics. You have Nikki Haley, she's Indian descent. running. They have 2 Indians running for presidential office. So they already have political cachet now. They have the economic and social cachet. So I'm trying to tell these mulattoes, a lot of you guys cry, our numbers are so small. There's not that many of us. You have mulattoes across the fucking planet. Every major city in this nation, I can go anywhere. Doesn't matter. I was in Europe, you have mulattoes everywhere. I jump on a bus in Belgium, mulattoes. I'm walking around Paris, you got mulattoes. It doesn't matter. We're all over the damn place. It's on you to connect with people, to network with people, and to build something. Nobody's going to do it for your ass. They want to maintain the social hierarchy to keep you as a subordinate working for these other groups. You got to make the difference. Let me continue on. Fair use.
Especially because in the 2010s, when things were kind of peaking, people were also protesting. Black lives were mattering, still do. It became all the more clear that the racial issues that this country and Canada, you're not excluded. Come on, girl. Don't act like, okay, that the racial issues going on in these countries was just kind of under the surface. And I will say, at least in America, at least in the South, people were way more upfront with you. Canada, people just love to be passive aggressive about it. The microaggression was invented in Canada. Like, I just keep thinking of that letter Kim Kardashian wrote when she realized she was going to have black kids. And like,
I got to stop right there. The letter that Kim Kardashian wrote when she realized she was going to have black kids. No. She's going to have biracial kids because Kim Kardashian is not black. You need the black sperm and the black egg to have a black child. Okay? Kim Kardashian's not black. She hooked up with a black man, Kanye West. Yeah, they have children. Those are biracial children. Those are not black children. So I'm going to correct you here because I'm telling you, these type of people, they want to pull you in and pull you out of blackness to use you at their convenience. They don't even see you as your personhood. They look at you as basically a utility, a tool for their for them to use. And like I said, they use these academically charged terms, like she says, mutability and all this crap, proximity to whiteness and colorism. They use this to basically try to slander you and shame you so that to try to force you to deal with them, right? Or confused, or you don't know where to fit in. I'm fitting in just good where I'm at. Shit. The people I got over here, I'm good. And I serve my supporters. The woman who's a supporter of mine told me to talk about this, and I'm serving her. I'm proudly serving the people who support me. This is the basis of developing trust in a community. And this is, we're all involved in this, people. Okay. All you people, I see you. You put comments, you share information, you share links. Every one of you people, Celtic Mulatto, DC, Flowers in the chat. I see every one of you people. This is the basis of developing that sense of cohesion and community. Get out of the influence of these other type of interlopers who want to weaponize you against your own self-interest. It doesn't make sense how we're still trying to play this game in 2023 going into 2024. They act like they have this influence over you. They want to pull you in and out of blackness. She's trying to say that Kim Kardashian's kids are black kids. No, they're biracial kids. Kim Kardashian is not black. They're mixed. So why do you insist on trying to define blackness to pull us in and out for your benefit? Nah, I'm telling you right now. I got that right here. I'm so slow with it. I'm gonna get faster with this in the future, guys.
But I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real.
Like I said, I'm telling you right now that moving forward, because a lot of my inspiration and kind of hope comes from these Gen Z. They're not gonna have a choice. They're gonna have to basically fully embrace mulatto-ness. Full stop. They're not going to have a choice. They're going to have to. They're going to look at the scenery, be like, fuck this. And our numbers are growing anyways. They can look around and be like, hey, you're just like me. You're just like me. We have a commonality. Let's try to connect and build something from that. It doesn't make sense to be in-grouped and out-grouped by this group of people. Like, this isn't the fucking 1960s anymore, guys. It just doesn't make any sense. Almost done here, guys. I'm going to drop the link if you guys want to jump on. Fair use.
like, I get it. She's not black, but like, it's the obtuseness and the like audacity of knowing you're profiting off of this culture, saying shit like, we love black guys and they just love us and blah, blah, blah. And then having children with a black man and really just man, I don't understand. Je ne comprends pas. Like, it's truly. Anyway, also
Yeah, she's has children with a black man, so therefore her kids aren't black. Yeah. Yeah, come on.
a side observation is just this idea that so many mixed and biracial people that maybe are like a quarter black be braiding their follicles down in the most uncomfortable looking ways to like show that they are black.
After enduring war and
Some stupid commercials at Ben Stiller. Those just ad dollars. She's getting paid. She's getting paid off me doing this video. And of course, she shows Drake. Drake, stop playing with the baby's hair. You see how now they're going to try to police blackness on the on the biracial. Don't do your hair like that. Don't do the corn rolls. Stop playing. That's his fucking child. That's his son. Imagine this, an interloper, an outsider, some random Negro on social media is going to try to tell this man how to do his own child's hair. The audacity of some of these people. I'm telling you, because a lot of them, they literally think they own you. They're going to try to police his blackness. Stop playing with your baby's hair. It's a cute joke. I mean, that's an insult. How dare you ever question and tell another man how to raise his own children or how to do the hair of his children? What if this biracial man told you and your child, your dark-skinned child, how to do their nappy hair? What if this biracial man told you, we know your ass would be whining and crying, doing several YouTube videos, crying about it. But see, they think they can clown you because you're biracial and light-skinned. But other way around, all of a sudden, it's racism. That's because you're a whole different race, different group. Drake is a white mom, black dad. He's not black. He's biracial. Look at his son. His son is like only 25% black. He's majority white with African admixture. He's not black. Like, they're not your part of your group. I know you want to pull them in to use them for your benefit, and then you want to sit here and clown them. You know, nobody's playing games with you people now, man. Fair use.
I'm just like, you could just stand in solidarity with black folks and like to hang around black people. And
Solidarity. Stand in solidarity with black folks. And that's not really defined. Solidarity, we already went over that. That's like unification. But like I said, that's more so liberal, LGBT charged term. I never heard a white person or an Asian or a Arabic person, because they're about power and resources. They're about forming allegiances, right? Like you have in the Middle East, you have OPEC, right? And in China, you have, these people have literally treaty agreements, allegiances, alliances, right? We talk to the perpetual victim class, all of a sudden it's solidarity, unity, or agreement, a feeling or action, especially among individuals with a common interest, mutual support within a group, right? I hear I heard this at the university I attended, man, this solidarity. And I'm looking at the people who are using it like these are powerless people. It's powerless people who have no power who are using that term solidarity. Like someone owes you to just associate with your ass. No, you have to offer something to me as well. That's a mutual exchange because they want free labor. They want the biracial to do all the work, for the trust to prove that the Negro can trust you. They want the biracial to do all the work. And then if, depending on how they feel, they'll grant you the fake acceptance. No one's playing that game. I mean, actually, I can't say that because a lot of these biracials are playing that game. But what my goal is, what I'm seeing in the future with these Z's and, less and less people are playing that game, right? The information, they're getting this information and realizing I don't have to play games with you like that. Fuck that. You're not offering me anything. What do I have to deal with you for, right?
And other types of people and not need to be black. You know what I'm saying? With this mutability, this proximity to lightness, not necessarily whiteness, because you can be mixed with a bunch of different stuff, but to lightness, this long history of cultural appropriation.
I have that proximity to lightness, I guess, to a degree, because I'm kind of like Puerto Rican passing, I guess you can say. Racial ambiguity for sure. And plus, I'm a straight man. So of course, me and her are going to bump heads because we're competing. She wants women, I want women. Conflict of interest. So that has nothing to do with race. It's a conflict of interest. You have these women who are same sex attracted like her who are competing with you as a man for other women. This is not normal, people, okay? This is not the normal way of life. Give me a break.
And folks loving Black culture for a time, and then when it was time to show up and stand up for Black lives, y'all were like, bye. Some of y'all, you know who you are. It makes sense.
You know who you are. And I already gave you guys kind of concrete examples for me, my own testimony. I told you. Literally, I did a Martin Luther King Jr. parade, or I met Maxine Waters. I volunteered. I didn't get a penny for that. I was proud to do that. And at the university campus that I was attending, they had a demonstration, right? That was for because there was a vandalism of their Black community center they had there, at a Black resource center, it was called, there on campus, I guess a Black safe space, and it was vandalized, right? And they had a demonstration there on campus. I was there. So it's funny how these people, like I said, it's never good enough, man. If you're a biracial person, you donate money to them, you donate money to Umar's school, like I did. You go to Africa, like I did. You go to the Black Museum, the African American Museum, as soon as it opens up, the one in DC, like I did. You do all this stuff to educate yourself, to put yourself in Black spaces, and build networks and connections. You do all that stuff. It's never good enough. I'm telling you, they will use that. Like I said, this trust thing, they'll use that over your head. It's a control mechanism for them. And she's trying to sit here and say, some of y'all didn't show up to the BLM rally and all this shit. A lot of us, we got tired of dealing with you people. We said, fuck you. You got to fight your own battle now. You're going to have to pay me if you want me to help you out. Fuck that. I'm not doing it for free. I already gave you too many freebies already in my 20s. I already gave you enough freebies. I learned a valuable life lesson. And my goal, my job now is to, not be bitter about it, express myself, explain it, spread awareness to other people who might have had that similar experience, and let's build something else. Let's develop our own think tanks, our own associations and alliances where we can accomplish goals and do business with each other and create an actual community. So yeah.
Sense to me why more Black folks are becoming more gatekeepy about who they classify as Black or not.
And that's the thing, because there's a lot of these biracials who are stuck there. Like I said, especially I feel bad for the ones who are monoracial identified, right? Which I'd probably say majority are, but I definitely see that's changing, especially with platforms like mine. I let people know you have another option. But I think Black people, I like the fact that they gatekeep. I already said earlier on the stream, we're in Africa and Ghana, they gatekeep what it is to be African there. And I think it's good that Black people are gatekeeping. But then you have people like me as well who are like, look, I'm going to gatekeep what this is, because I see this, this crazy, you have these really anonymous interlopers who are trying to infringe. When I have a social media page, let's just say this YouTube channel, but even on Instagram, you'll have literally fucking Black people who will pretend to be MGM or pretend to be MLS or whatever the hell they say. They're just multi-generational mix, whatever. They're just Blacks with admixture. They'll try to infringe upon your space and to dictate what you can and can't say. You're being mean to Blacks from the hood. I had some guy who was trying to tell me that crap. I feel like you're being too harsh to Blacks from the hood. Unsubscribe. Don't listen to me. Okay? That's the best advice I can tell you. Why are you here? You're an interloper. You're not supposed to. This is not for you. This content's not for you. Okay? I will probably hurt your feelings. You're going to whine and cry. Okay? Just keep my name out your mouth. But that's the crazy aspect about it, is you have these anonymous interlopers who want to infringe upon your space. And I'm going to be the guy here is like, no, I'm going to gatekeep this. If you're not even verified, I can't even, identify you as one of us, a member of the group, mulatto per se. I don't have to deal with you. I'm going to gatekeep over here too. Fuck that. Every group has a right. Everyone respects white people, the parameters they establish with the one drop rule, which is a lot of these whites are basically saying it's archaic as well. I have some more information I'm going to share about that. Shout out to the gentleman who shared some articles. But it's like the Asians gatekeep, Latinos or Chicanos, they gatekeep. For the Mexicans, their group, everyone gets to gatekeep, and the blacks, but then they look at us, we're like, oh, we're just supposed to just allow every just sex deviant and degenerate into our space and group. You're not going to shame me. I don't give a damn what words, racist, white supremacist, or colorist, and I don't give a damn what you people say. You're not one of us. Okay, I've already identified you as being an interloper, a troublemaker. Have a good day. Go over to that channel. Go over there. Don't come over here. Okay. You can if you want. You can tune in, listen. That's fine. Just know your place, boy. Okay. Fair use.
Not because not all skin folk is kin folk. If you just think the idea of blackness is cool because the way it's sold to you in the media and stuff, but the experience of blackness is not something to identify with, and it can also be different for black people.
That's very flawed and vague. The experience of blackness. Like, what the hell does that even mean? What does that even mean? Because the experience of blackness, it's like there's so many variables into that. You talk to somebody who's black from, like I said, from Kenya. I have a connect. I have a lady, a friend from Kenya I've been talking to for a while. Like, her experience is way different than the typical black American. Or you talk to a black person from the Caribbean, right? Or it's just, there's so many different experiences. So this is very vague, this black. What is she talking about? Okay.
People, like black people are not a monolith. The experience of being black is going to be very different depending on your class, depending on your gender expression, depending on how.
Okay, right here. Your class, and she said gender. So we already know she's LGBT, guys. And I knew that when I first laid eyes on this lady. Is an LGBT person. And you see she throws in the ability. Okay, is intersectionality. Okay, sexuality. She said gender. We know what this is all about. Neurodivergence, which I've only heard that term before, like once before, and this was literally an LGBT person. you know, your average, everyday, normal person. You don't have to be an academic. I mean, when people who use these type of terms, these are liberal, leftist, LGBT charged terms. Okay, ability, sexuality, neurodivergence, all these different struggle identities. This is intersectionality, guys. Okay. Let me fuck.
All those things intersect all the things. Like
And I mean, just like that on cue, she literally said the word intersect. Let me rewind that for you guys. For those of you who are dense, this is a intersectional LGBT feminist. And in their hierarchy, if you are a straight man, okay, you're at the bottom. They want you to serve them. Okay. And according to them, your proximity to whiteness, I'm not playing games with you people. Okay. You got the wrong guy here. Go push the intersectional feminist stuff elsewhere. Okay. And you're not going to shame all the men who are builders. You can't shame us. Right.
expression, depending on how all those things intersect all the things. Like
All of those things intersect your gender, your ableist, your ability, neurodivergence. She tries to make it so like complex and academic when she should articulate it very simply, but she's trying to act like she's super smart. Look, she's hiding the fact that she's hiding the fact that she's LGBT. She doesn't even have to hide it. You look at her, you're like, yeah, she likes women. Okay, that's fine, but why is this need to hide it? It's so sneaky with a lot of them because they know they're not in the majority, man. Most people are not like that. Most men like women, most women like men. Okay? And I know I'm saying that, I'm gonna lose some people saying that. Tough, okay? I'm tough. I'm sick and tired of the sneakiness where they want to act like they're smarter than you. They develop all these terms, neurodivergence and mutability. But see, the mutability, it's okay for them to change to 75 different genders and sexual identities. That's okay for them. But you being black and white, oh no, you can't do that. You can't identify with your European side because that's not fair to me. That's your problem. That's a you problem. Like, what's her name? That lady. Shout out to Sage Steele. Shout out to her. Isn't that what she said? She's basically like telling you, look, that's a you problem. If you have a problem with me being biracial, me being black and white, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. We got to start telling them that. Shout out to Sage Steele for saying that. I'm gonna have to clip that because yeah, it's ridiculous. They're trying to make their problems our problems. They're struggling with their own sexual identity. That's a you problem. I don't. That's not my business, right?
Like I said, you can appreciate a culture and a people and fuck with them heavy and stand in solidarity with them.
And even she says that fuck with them heavy, right? That's that hood talk, right? From the hood, y'all fuck with them heavy, but then she brings in this super hardcore liberal LGBT, you know, terminology like neurodivergence. I'm like, whoa, I've seen this before. This is nothing new. Okay, she's talking about biracials. Mulatto woman told me to review it, so of course I will oblige. If you're feminine, that's the key thing, right? If feminine women get rewarded, okay, feminine women who like men, they get rewarded. The men, the masculine men, they will reward them. They'll do work. They'll put in work for them. Yeah, yeah. That's obvious, right? That's normal. I'm a normal guy.
them and not need to play into being, I don't know, the stereotypes of that group. You can be mixed and biracial and honor all the parts of yourself that make you who you are. And if people don't get it and don't want to fuck with it, then they don't. We know that somewhere in Beyonce's ancestry, there are some light folks.
So I'm gonna stop here, guys, because she's the last portion. And I'm gonna share the clip, guys, in the stream, but it's only like 5 minutes left of the video. I already went way over. I went way longer than I initially wanted to. Surprised a lot of you guys are sticking here with me. Of course, you guys are going to watch the playback. I appreciate you guys. Beautiful people, beautiful mulattoes. Definitely hit the like button if you like this. Share the stream. Tell a friend to tell a friend. This is a service for me. I'm doing this as a service to you guys to provide us with a voice. A lot of us feel like we don't have a voice. So, of course, I'm speaking. I'm here to be the voice of the voiceless. We do have a voice, we do have a collective plight, and we do have a place of belonging. And if you feel like you don't have that place, I encourage you to go create it. I've always said that from the beginning because I know I'm going to ruffle feathers. A lot of people aren't going to like me. I block a lot of people, on social media. So you're definitely within your right to go do your own thing, right? And that's what I'm doing here, and I like what I'm doing. So we got in the flowers. Shout out to you, Flowers. Says men are handsome, gifted, beautiful, amazing, lovable, steadfast, educated, reliable, constant, brilliant. Absolutely love men. Appreciate that. Says they are reaching to identify as mixed anything. They're jealous towards genuine mixed race people. Yeah, they cannot hide their level of jealousy and envy. And it's kind of sad today too. You see it, you're analyzing it. My whole thing is I just want to get away from a lot of these people. They're jealous because you can't win with them. If they're jealous of you just for your existence, you got to get away from them, man. You got to get away. But they will steady creep up on you and try to infiltrate your space, right? They want to outgroup you and tell you you ain't from the hood. But then and then they're like, okay, look, I'm gonna create my own shit. I don't need you. And then they're gonna slowly creep up, and it's so weird, man. This social media experiment is something else. It's weird. It says mulatto people are genetically, biologically mixed race. We are not elected identity. So no, having a dual citizenship isn't the same. Exactly. But they're trying to equate that. I've heard other people too, even the Al show, Al Lanier has commented on that before because he's been in these spaces longer than me. I saw some comments from Al Lanier like years back, like This is basically new stuff to me. I'm just very energized and have ambition and drive to where I'm jumping up here. Like, I don't give a shit. I have nothing to lose. We need our voice out here. It's ridiculous. People have tried to silence us for too long. But I was saying I've seen Al Lanier, or excuse me, the Al show basically say where people, like a lot of black men, Americans, will try to say, like, they'll use the Carlton, Carlton Banks, they'll use that dynamic, basically trying to say that oh, that they were treated like they were a dork and that they were a geeky and that other blacks didn't accept them because they acted dorky. They try to use that argument to say that they're similar to like a black, white, biracial guy. You notice that? They try to say that, oh, well, they're, or they use the socioeconomic, parameter as well. They measure and say, oh, well, I was broke and I was from the hood, so I'm just as black as you, right? I did a video talking about some guy who was saying that. It's like, I got food stamps just like you. I'm just black like you. But yeah, on the other side, you have monoracial blacks who say they were treated like they were Carlton Banks. You guys know Carlton Banks from Fresh Prince. And they say that crap to try to act like they're just like you. Like, you're not the same. Like you're saying with Flowers here, with this woman who's trying to say because she's a citizen of Canada or Gambia and all this shit, she can relate to mulatto people. No, ma'am. No, you can't. I don't care. Your white girlfriends, they all lied to your ass. I don't care what all those liberals in college told you. And they're lying to you. You're not the same. So, mulatto says, yeah, for sure. Appreciate you, Flowers. The one drop rule was eugenics law known as 1924 Racial Integrity Act. 1924 Racial Integrity Act was overturned in 1967. Loving versus Virginia reinstate mulatto to the census. Yep. Exactly. Mixed race is mixed race. Mulatto isn't monoracial to the exclusion of the other racial groups. Okay. For sure. I think we're about, it's one raining. Okay. Appreciate that. For sure, guys. I went a little longer than I typically expect to, but definitely a pleasure. I think I'm going to be back tomorrow. I got something to share, talk with you guys again. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Adios.